Welcome back to English class. So, dear students, you know that in the previous class, the Sepoy came to the sentry post and took the boy to the Commander Sahib. So, now let us go through the next paragraph. Who are you and why did you want to see me? The commanding officer asked. My name is Makhbul Butt. My father was awarded a medal for bravery. He died fighting for the nation. My mother and I live here now. I was watching the plane when I heard an anti aircraft gunfire and saw the plane become unsteady. Unsteady means shake or not steady in position. I saw him fall to the ground. I knew I must save him. The enemy was just a little distance away. I ran to bring him back by a shortcut. When I reached him, I found that he could not walk. He was bleeding profusely. Profusely means to a great degree, in large amount. He told me not to worry about him, but to try and get this packet to you and tell you that it must reach Ambala tonight. It is very important. So, in this para, the boy replied to the commander that his name is Makbul Bhatt and his father was awarded a medal for bravery and he died fighting for the nation and his mother lived with him. When he was watching a plane, he heard an anti-aircraft gunfire and saw the plane become not steady in position. And he saw the pilot fall to the ground. He knew that he should help him from the enemies, as the enemies were a little distance away. Ran to bring him back by a shortcut, but he was not able to walk. His legs were fractured. The pilot gave me a packet of papers. What did he give? The pilot gave him a papers to hand over you and it should be reached to Ambala tonight. It's very important. Likewise is said to the commanding officer. Son, weren't you afraid of the enemy? My father told me never to be afraid of the enemy. They can't do a thing if our number is not written on the bullet. It means a soldier has to fight till his last minute of death. A soldier should not run away from the enemy. If he does, so the soldier is not a real soldier. Good, you are indeed the brave son of a brave soldier. Has the enemy been able to catch the pilot? So here the commander appreciated the boy's bravery and asked him, did the enemy been able to catch the pilot? I don't know, sir. I couldn't wait to see. I had to carry out my orders first. I know where he fell. I also know where the enemy lines are. I can guide you to it by a shortcut so that you can intercept them and cut off their retreat. We must go at once, sir. The enemy came on foot. If you take jeeps, you will be able to surround them and catch them. So the boy said that don't know whether the enemy catch the pilot. And it didn't wait there, as it was the order of the pilot to hand over the papers. And he said that he knows the place where the pilot fell and also lines of the enemy's being. He instructed the commanding officer that he can guide them in a shortcut so that they can find the enemies and cut off their retreat, as the enemies came by the foot or by walk. If takes jeeps, you will be able to surround them and catch them easily. Instruction noted, sir. Action will be taken, smiled the commanding officer. When the boy has given instruction like a well-trained soldier, it made the commander officer humorous. That is why he said with smiling, instruction noted, sir. Action will be taken. 5 minutes later, the group of enemy soldiers found themselves surrounded by jeeps. There was no escape. One of them started to run but realized that it was of no use. Throwing down his gun, he raised his hands above his head. The enemy was rounded up and the pilot rescued. He was bleeding, for he had been dragged along when he failed to raise and walk, even when prodded with bayonets. He was muttering something incoherently. Boy, packet. He could say no more. The pilot was taken to the military hospital at once. So, in 5 minutes later, the enemy soldier were surrounded by jeep themselves, and they realized they couldn't escape anymore. One of the enemy tried to escape, but he couldn't. So he threw the gun down and raised his hand on his head, and the pilot was rescued. He was bleeding, for he had been dragged along. When he was able to raise and walk, even when prodded. Prodded means poke with a finger, foot, or pointed object. With bayonets. Bayonets means a blade that may be fixed to the muzzle of a rifle and used to stab an opponent in hand to hand fighting, and he was muttering something incoherently. Boy, packet, in a low voice that not clear. So what did he ask? He was asking for packet, as the pilot has given the packet to the boy. So he asked, boy, packet, in a low voice that was not clear and hard to understand his words. And immediately the pilot was taken to the military hospital. Hope children, you understood these paragraphs. Now answer to my questions. What is the boy's name? What did the boy say when the commander asked, "Son, weren't you afraid of the enemy?" What did the commanding officer say when the boy gives instruction? Did the enemy escape? Was the pilot rescued by the army?